welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, this time around in English, as you might already have noticed, and most videos are in English now from my channel, but we will see if that is going to change in the future again. But till then, we are going to talk in English this time around, and today I'm going to show you 3 different games again, which will be Block Puzzle Javels, Classic Wood Block Puzzle, and Cactus Zombies. My name is Gerald. As always, I've got a couple of different things with me to make all this work. So for instance, we are going to use a Bluetooth mouse, in this case this one. Pretty small one, but still very ergonomical. I like it very much. Other than that, we are going to use a foldable keyboard, which is this one, which is just a keyboard that is foldable, like the name suggests. And other than that, we could, for instance, use the Xbox One as a wireless controller, but we're not going to, because in this episode there is no game that is really suitable or fitted to play with the Xbox One as a wireless controller or any other gamepad. So this one is going to stay at this side. Yeah, and of course everything is only possible because we are using the Microsoft Lumia 950 XL in this case, which is a smartphone with Windows 10 Mobile on it. And it has a Mozo cover at the back, and it has a USB-C connector at the bottom, so we can use this and connect it, for instance, with the USB-C cable to the display door, which is standing at the side. I hope you can see that. It's this little box here. And that one is connected to the TV in this case, so in the end we are going to let the smartphone create all the pictures for us, or all the computing stuff. And it's going to be sent through this display dock to the TV by HDMI in this case. And so we can have this desktop-like experience here, but only with a smartphone. If you want to know more about that, please have a look at the corner up there. This technology is called Continuum, and it is a pretty nice one, but not very common today. But whatever, I still like it very much. So, and I would say let's start with the first game then. The first game is called Block Puzzle Javels. For that I'm going to go to my all apps list here, just with the smartphone, better to say with the mouse of course. And in this case we are going to have a look what kind of game we want to start. It's Block Puzzle Javels, this one. So I'm just going to click on that. It's a classic block puzzle game, but I pretty much like it for the simpleness and the more or less the optics of it. It's really, really simple designed, and so it's really nothing you have to think about to play this. It's not even like a Tetris game or something, but what you have to do is that you are just going to drag and drop the different parts here, get them. That is going to increase your score counter more or less, and so you are just going to put them in these fields and try to figure out where to fit them in the best way possible. And the interesting part about it is that, or the more or less hard part about it is that sooner or later you are going to run out of space to put stuff, and so you will have to, more or less like in Tetris or something, try to get rid of the different lines. So as you can see, you're going to receive extra points for that, and then those lines are going to vanish and you have other spaces again. And the game more or less ends when you are going to try to fit something. So if there is any kind of play stone combination, whatever you want to call those, so there's a puzzle part or whatever you want to call them, and that is no longer going to fit on the screen here, and then you have lost and you will have to restart the game. And of course it's all about the score in this case. It's a pretty neat little game. There's not much more to it, so if you just want to get rid of a little bit of time, for instance, this is maybe a nice one, and you just can try to play it for a little time. It's going to take a little time till you are really going to get to a point where you can't play anymore, because as you can see the play field is pretty large, and you really have a lot of different options here. If you're not playing too stupidly, you're probably gonna be very, very successful at the start at least. And after a while you will have to get rid of those little, whatever gaps or whatever that is called more or less. And those little gaps are going to kill you sooner or later, because it's really hard to get everything done there. They're going to prevent it. There are, for instance, these kind of vanishing lines, or better to solve lines, or whatever what we did here. And sooner or later they are going to kill you, so be very aware of them and try to avoid them in these kind of games. Yeah, this is more or less what I want to show you about this game. Just try it out, I like it very much. If you want another game that, or better to say, very similar game but with a little bit of more features, more different options, maybe play modes or whatever, then the next one is probably the better game for you, but it really highly depends on what you want to play and what you need there. So Classic Wood Block Puzzle is another game which has more or less the same premise. So in the end it's going to be a block puzzle game, and you are going to play with the different parts there, the different puzzle parts, and trying to solve puzzles too. But the interesting thing about this game is that it really can handle a couple of different other options there. So for instance, you're going to be able to play in different modes. The whole design is very, very different from the first one. It's no longer this very flat designed part, but it's more or less a wood designed and leather designed part in this case, and there are a couple of other things you will see in this game too. So first off, you could, if I increase the volume a little bit, you can hear the nature sounds more or less that are going to be played in the background. If you don't want them, just first off, you can of course turn off your music off your smartphone itself, or you're just going to click on the mute button, and so you can get rid of the music and the sounds in this game, whatever you want to do there. I think I'm going to let it like this, and now you can see we have different modes in this game. So we have the classic mode, the time mode, the bump mode, and the advanced mode. Classic is more or less what we played with the other game too, so it's very, very similar to that. The time mode is something that is much more challenging, because you are going to have to play against the time, or a timer more or less. I'm going to show you what that is right now. Just let's play all of them a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. As you can see, there is this kind of bar which is going to slide down. And to increase the bar again, you have to fulfill the lines, so get rid of the lines or solve the lines, as shown before. So I'm going to solve the first line now, and this one should jump a little bit over, as you can see. And this is more or less the mode you're playing here. Everything else is the same, so if you are going to, for instance, get rid of the white spaces by accident or whatever, then this is not going to work anymore and you're going to die. And of course, if the timer is going to be vanished more or less, then it's going to be over, game over too, and you will have to restart again. Other than that, there are a couple of different other modes, which I want to show you. Time mode was the one we already know. Bomb mode is a different one, which is pretty interesting too. So at the start there is nothing to worry about here. So just play it as you would play one of the other modes. After a little bit of time, you are going to see some kind of bombs going to be shown on the field, like this one. And it's going to be, there's a little number on there, as you can see, and it's going to be the timer more or less. And it's more or less the turns you have till the bomb is going to detonate. And you will have to have a look at that and try to get rid of it by creating some kind of line. You can go from up to down or from the left to the right or whatever, but you will need to get rid of that bomb in the next, in this case, 8 steps now, or 8 turns now. So be very careful about that and try to get rid of it. And of course, if you're playing this game for a little bit of time, so now it's going to vanish and everything is fine. But if you're playing this game for a little bit of time, you're going to have not one bomb or 2 bombs, but many of them. and you really will have to figure out how to get rid of all of them in a very, very fast way. So like this one, for instance, is the next one, so we will have to figure out how to handle this. As you can see, I can't place that one there because I already did this, so a little bit of unfortunate placement here, which is going to be something very, very normal in this case. And yeah, let's turn around for this game. The good thing about it is you will have to think a little bit more about it, because the bombs are going to go up in some case, or after a little bit of time, or better to say turns. But the interesting part about it is you just don't have to worry too much. It's not as a timer is going off or something, but it's just the counter that is going to be vanishing there, and that's much less stressful than the other one. So if you are after a little bit of a challenge, but you just don't want to be stressed too much in this game, then this might be the better one for you, and you should have a look at this mode. Let's see what we can do here. Now, as you can see, bomb is over, we died, everything is over, and you will have to go to the start again. Sometimes, as you can see, there's going to be a little bit of... I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. Sometimes, as you can see, there's a little bit of more or less advertisement in between, but it's really not very prominent. So the first couple of times you can really play this game without any kind of problem, and that's fine for you. Other than that, you can of course most often cancel that and don't have to play it through, as you can see. So let's go to the start again and have a look at the last mode. The last mode is more or less the standard mode, but with different parts in it. So if you have a look at this, for instance, you are... Sorry for that. Seems like my mouse is going to die in a couple of seconds. Whatever, we will see. Interesting about this mode is more or less that you have different blocks here. So not the standard blocks you already saw, but a couple of them are a little bit different, a little bit harder to come by. So for instance, those kind of stuff is going to be present in this mode. You don't have to play it with that. If you don't want to play the other ones, that's fine too. Other than that, this mode is more or less the same as you already know. So just try it out. I think the bomb mode is one of the most interesting ones, so try that one out. And of course, if you like it a little bit more, with pressure or something, so a little bit more challenging, then maybe the timer mode might be a good option too. Okay. And other than that, I would say let's go to the last game in this episode. The last game in this episode is going to be Cactus Zombies. And it's a pretty unique game because you can play it in AR mode. So for instance, you can get one of those goggles there. I'm just having a look if I have one around at the moment. Probably not, seems to be somewhere there. But if you have AR goggles, you can, for instance, put them on and play this game with your smartphone in them. Pretty nice, pretty unique feature or play game, whatever. Interesting about it is that you are going to kill zombies, and that is done by looking at them in the AR mode. Other than that, if you're not going to play it like this, you can play this game by the keyboard, for instance, or on-screen device buttons, whatever you want to use there. I'm going to play it with the keyboard and show you what's going on there. So, Cactus Zombies is more or less what this is all about. So it's not going to be zombies as you know them, but it's going to be, let's say plants which are pretty angry at you. Cactus Zombies, here we are. I'm going to click on them and I'm going to show you what's going on here. So in the end, as you can see in a couple of seconds at least, there are going to be zombie cactuses which are attacking you, and you have to kill them. And the interesting part about it is that, for instance, the camera is going to be movable on this axis, so you can turn around like this, and you will have to kill all the different zombies which are going to attack you there. And let's see, as you can see, it's a 3D game. It takes a little bit of time to load, but after a while you are in here. And then you can see there are a couple of different modes. For instance, the 3D mode, the AR mode, which would be the one with the AR or VR models, or goggles in this case. I think this is not AR if you ask me, but whatever. And this would more be like, for instance, a VR headset mode, but doesn't matter. It's called AR mode in this case. And you could have a look at how to more join us and stuff like that. But we are just going to play the game. So as you can see, 3D game, nicely pictures, nice 3D optic if you ask me. And I'm just going to click on 3D mode, and that's going to start the game already. And then you are going to have to use your in this case, keyboard, and get rid of all the different zombies which are attacking you. As you can see, just move the camera around, and you loosely have to fit the crosshair here to the enemy. It's really not that hard to get them. Or better to say, any kind of option or any kind of position you're going to hit them at. So for instance, in the hand or something, it's going to kill them, and like that you're going to have to get rid of these angry zombie cactuses. The only thing you're going to have to do here is to get a higher score than before. So if you can see, previous best was 21 for me. Currently we got 20, and so you're going to kill everybody. You have a couple of different options to control this game. For instance, you can use your keyboard as mentioned before. So for instance, with WASD or with the arrow keys in the end, and you are going to shoot with the space bar. Or you can use, for instance, your mouse clicking to click is to fire at somebody, and for instance this is going to turn around the different views here. So if you are going to use this one, you're going to watch in the different directions. As you can see, you can even go up and down and see everything here like this, as you would be able to in the AR mode or the VR mode, whatever you want to call that. And in the end, that's a pretty interesting thing to play it with. Other than that, this is of course a firing button, so if you're clicking on that, you're going to fire at the crosshair, of course, at your enemies. And yeah, there's not too much to the game other than that, but I think it's a really nice one, especially if you want to play it with the AR goggles. Try it out. It's a pretty nice addition to your game library probably. So, I would say this ends the episode. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked the episode. And of course, if you didn't subscribe till now, do that now. It's a button down below. It's going to help the channel and everybody is going to profit from it. The good thing about it is that it doesn't cost anything. So, just click on the button. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you have any kind of questions, comments, whatever, put them down in the commentary section down below. And other than that, thanks and see you in the next episode. Bye. Bye.